So I'm here, and Southwest, you won't help me at all, even though you guys canceled the flight. Is there a supervisor I can speak to? Okay, can I speak to your supervisor? These guys, I'm stuck here in D.C., and they will not help me at all. I don't know why Southwest will not help me. Please, because we're going to post this online. Southwest will not help anybody. They've canceled our flights. I'm stuck here. I don't know what to do. Okay, I'm at the airport. Southwest Airlines just said they're about to call the cops on me. I don't know why they're calling the cops. I guess because I'm trying to film my interaction with the manager, but we're in a public airport. I don't know. There's cameras everywhere that are filming us. So I'm not trying to act naive, but I think it's crazy that they're calling the cops on me right now. It's unbelievable. I'm just filming for my protection. I don't know. I just tried to... They canceled my flight. I asked for a hotel room, and then I started filming the guy, and then they said I'm calling the cops.
Okay.
So I'm just filming for my protection. Yeah, no.
I got you. What did they cancel your flight for?
The weather.
Weather? Okay. I don't believe they do hotel vouchers just for...
They can make exceptions,
yeah,
though. They are. Yeah, but as soon as I started at filming, he said, I'm going to call the cops.
Yeah, I got you.
So I started filming. I'm filming for my protection. I'm filming.
How you doing? Police Department. What's going on here today?
So I tried to ask him for a hotel voucher. I asked him for a reception, and then I started filming because I was going to post it online because I thought the customer service for. And then he said, "I'm calling the cops. Do not leave." So I just followed his instructions, and I didn't leave.
All right. So you're not doing anything illegal. Everything is perfectly fine. They said they rebooked you for yesterday, for tomorrow.
For tomorrow, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, they rebooked you for tomorrow.
But I was trying to speak to his manager, and he said, "I'm not going to. I can't speak to my manager. I'm going to call the cops." I thought that's weird.
I got you. I can't force him to go get his manager.
I understand that. But I'm not. It's not illegal to film.
Yeah. No.
It's a public place. I know. So for him to call the cops on me, do you like getting the cops called on you? I don't mean that disrespectful. I'm just saying.
I'm letting you know that you didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah. Is there any way we could maybe talk to somebody at Southwest or something? I guess we'll just post. So this is what happens at Southwest. They just call the cops on you. I just want to post this. You guys have been great. Thank you. But guys, I just want to document this. This is what happens when you try to get rebooked. They call the cops on you, and now you got to deal with these cops. So this is Southwest Airlines. I don't know what's going on. I'm just trying to fly home, but this is what Southwest Airlines does. They call the cops on you. They detain you. I'm just trying to fly home. So
You all good, all right? You're not detained.
I guess.
You all good, all right?
But y'all did come here to deal with me, though, right?
Not detained.
Okay, thank you. But is there any way, though, I can still speak to a customer service representative?
Southwest.
Well, should I get in line, though? I mean, so that's the only guy I can talk to, though? That guy can say, call the cops, and then I'm not allowed to deal with customer service anymore? Is that how it works? But do you see how, I'm just saying, do you see how that's frustrating the guy?
Good day, sir. Thank you.
My grind so refined, I got no time for no games. Ask yourself why would I make time for you lames? At all costs, cause I'm a boss. But break them off, yeah, gotta break them off.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Prime Time with Alex Stein. I'm your host, Alejandro Stein, and we got a great show for you this evening. I am playing injured, though. I did injure my pinky. I know you probably can't see it, but I am very injured. Baton Evan hurt me, so I am recovering. But what you just saw was my interaction with Southwest Airlines. And let's be real, guys, traveling is becoming very stressful. And I was getting a lot of criticism for posting this video, and there's a lot more to this story that you don't get to see. You didn't get to see the struggling families that were worried about where they were going to stay for the night. I mean, I'm a pimp on a blimp, dog. I mean, I got hotel rooms. It's not a big deal for me, but when I'm up there and I'm speaking to the customer service representative, I'm the one that's speaking up for the little man in the back, for the dad that's got 4 hungry, crying kids that, can't even break away from him for 5 minutes to go even talk to the customer service rep. So I was trying to be a hero, and I've been, I've been unfairly criticized for that. And Southwest Airlines has reached out. We have not come to a solution yet on this incident, but I would say that I like Southwest Airlines, and typically flying them, I enjoy their services. But what was peculiar about this situation is they canceled it because of the weather. Well, the weather wasn't that bad. And on top of that, there were other flights that were taking off and landing. So it just kind of makes me wonder why it was really canceled. And then when I started to film, that is when he got the cops involved. So it's like, listen, if you're not hiding anything, why can't I film you? So that's what really kind of makes me wonder, like, why did he feel the need to get the cops involved as soon as I started to try to document what was going on? So once again, it backfired for Southwest, and Daily Mail covered it. They called me a TV star, not my words, theirs, and they're a great journalistic outlet, so they would never lie or mislead the public. So if they call me a TV star, well, unfortunately for the haters, I guess I'm a TV star according to Daily Mail. But yeah, it's not about the money. It's not about the money. It's about the time, and it's about the feeling of being misled by Southwest Airlines. So once again, we have not come to a 100% solution, but I would like to continue to be a customer of Southwest. So hopefully we can take care of that. So with all that being said, I want to say we have a great show for you this evening. And is she ready? Should we welcome on our Emmy Award-winning guest right now? Should we do that? Is she ready? Let's bring on the one, the only, Michelle Backus. Michelle, how are you doing, Michelle?
I'm good. You're too kind with the Emmy Award-winning introduction there. You're really putting me up for success here.
Well, I'm trying to, in professional wrestling, they call it putting someone over. So I'm putting you over. We don't have a lot of Emmy Award winners on this show. I should win one every year, but they don't ever credit me because they think I'm racist. But that's not important. What is important, Michelle, is now you might have just saw this clip, and I'll be honest, I was acting a little gauche, as they might say, trying to get a free hotel voucher when I am, financially successful enough to afford a hotel room. But it wasn't about the money. It was about the situation being handled poorly, in my opinion, by Southwest Airlines. So before we get into the breaking news, what did you think about that interaction? Honestly, like, am I the bad guy for whipping out the phone and filming, considering there's cameras everywhere? Because I've been the bad guy before. So if I was, what is your opinion on that interaction?
In 2025, I think whipping out the camera is a way to protect yourself. And I hate to say this, but you are public enemy number one. You're a white, straight male. Mm-hmm. So you do have to protect yourself in these situations. Now, maybe you were a little aggressive. I wouldn't consider it that way. I'm just trying to think of this from both lenses, right? Devil's advocate. However, I do think you were advocating for the little guy. I mean, we've all been in that situation. I'm not sure if you've flown Spirit Airlines before.
A lot. I love it. But go ahead. Tell me your more Spirit. I love Spirit Airlines. Like, I work and do a lot of great work for Turning Point USA. And Charlie Kirk recently, he got in hot water because he said that he would be hesitant to get on a plane if he noticed the pilot was African American. But not me. I love it when the pilot's African American because that means you can smoke weed on the plane. And that's why I fly Spirit, because Spirit, you can smoke marijuana on the plane. So I love Spirit. They have a very relaxed atmosphere on those planes. And yeah, you're right. Their customer service is lacking. But what was your worst experience on Spirit Airlines?
Oh, gosh. So I fly Spirit Airlines a lot. And I don't fly it for any other reason except it's the easiest nonstop flight. I'm from Pittsburgh, so a lot of nonstop flights are Spirit into Pittsburgh. So that's why I fly it quite often. However, when was it? It was about 2 months ago. There were 2 fights on the plane. And mind you, this wasn't like a long flight. This was from Pittsburgh to Miami. Mm-hmm. So like what, a 2.5-hour flight? There were 2 fights on the plane. A woman had to be subdued, and then there were police waiting at the terminal for us when we pulled in. So this was overall like a 6 to 8 hour experience to get on this plane off.
Well, it's so funny you say that.
A full brawl on the Spirit Airlines airplane.
I've had a similar thing where I haven't seen the fight yet, even though I've seen arguments on planes. I've probably been in a couple of those arguments myself, I'm guilty of. But one time on Spirit Airlines, we were flying from Fort Lauderdale, and then as soon as we're about to land, the pilot comes on. He's like, "Excuse me, when we land, I'm sorry, we're going to have some police officers come on board." And we're like, "What? What's going on?" Because it was a calm flight. Well, then they were like FBI agents came on and arrested a guy. And this is on Spirit Airlines. I should have filmed it, but it was just so random and so funny. So I have a similar experience. So when you fly in Spirit, you get the free entertainment of seeing somebody get arrested or assaulted. So that's kind of a plus.
What did the guy do? Do you know?
I don't know. We don't know. He didn't do anything on the plane. I think he had a warrant. I don't know what he did. Probably something disgusting. And there was actually a recent Delta pilot this past week that got arrested for doing something illegal with a child under 10 years old. So that's disgusting. I don't know if you saw that story, but Delta pilot got arrested 30 minutes before they're about to take off. I mean, gosh almighty, that's absolutely terrible. But okay, real quick, Michelle. Actually, I want to say one last thing before we forget. People make fun of Spirit. They fly from Dallas to Las Vegas for like $29. You know what I mean? So if you
and it's nonstop. It's the best nonstop flights.
You literally can't beat that. And then if you're feeling fancy, you can always pay $100 and sit in the front seat, and it's like the fake first class. So I am a Spirit Airlines supporter as well. Okay, now let's talk about this.
Maybe they'll see this and sponsor you.
Well, I hope Southwest
Hopefully.
doesn't see this because I don't want them to ban me because I live next to Love Field too. That's why I like Southwest. It's very convenient. I don't have to go all the way to DFW. But once again, if that does happen, I'll have Spirit Airlines. They can't ban you. They don't even know. They don't have a computer system or hard drive to keep records like that. Okay, let's talk about what the heck is going on in New York City. Now, I'm not trying to sound insensitive, but I'm of the opinion where there was a terrible incident. This guy was shooting. But I don't want them to use this as a way to take away our guns. That's always what happens when a situation like this happens. So once again, it's a terrible tragedy, but I don't think it's the gun's fault. I want to start off with that. So what do you think is going on with this Shane Tamura walking into this 345 Park Avenue, some of the nicest real estate in the world where the NFL headquarters is located, going to the 33rd floor, shooting and killing a cop? I believe he killed 3 other people and then shooting himself. So what do you make of that? Is it just a crazy shooter, or is there some sort of, MK Ultra mind control thing going on in your opinion, Michelle?
People are saying that Luigi Mangione set the precedent for this. Some people are turning to that theory. But I mean, look, he's walking the streets of New York City with that gun in his hand. How many people did he walk past? And let's all remember, New York City has some of the strictest gun laws in the nation. So where were those gun laws? You hear all the time Democrats arguing that we need these strict gun laws everywhere. Well, New York City had them. And this guy is walking the streets, and then he goes into this building, and it's after hours, mind you. A lot of employees already left. He allows a woman to come out of the elevator, doesn't shoot her. So it seems like the people he shot were pretty random. And I know we're going back to talking about the NFL here, and that's who he was allegedly targeting against on open investigation. But, I know his football coach from high school, because he said that he's sustained an injury and he was targeting the NFL. I think his football coach from high school just came out and said that he didn't remember him ever having a head injury. If anything, he had, I think it was an ankle injury. So I'm not sure if this was fully calculated, but a lot of things don't add up in this situation.
A lot of stuff doesn't add up. And we can tell that it looks like whether Shane had an ankle injury or brain injury, there are some disturbing tweets. You can pull up full screen 8 and 9. It looks like he had gone missing. But this is nearly 8 years ago. What's the date on that, Jimmy? I can barely read it. Or when was this? Wasn't this a long time ago?
Yeah, 2018.
Yeah, 2018. So in 2018, looks like there's in need of dire help. Please just retweet so I can get some eyes and ears out everywhere. Last known area, San Fernando Valley, and they're tagging Beyonce, Kendrick Lamar, Janae Aiko, Spoken Reasons.
Beyonce's going to get right on that.
Yeah, look, Barack Obama. I'm sure he got Michelle Obama. They're like, oh, there's a missing kid. Let's go molest it. Seriously, what the hell? Ice Cube. I mean, Ice Cube's a good guy. Ellen. I mean, if you got a missing kid, do not tweet at Ellen. That's like I mean, come on. She's like a vulture for those things. All right. I think, and this is crazy, but there's a lot of weird stuff, and I'm a big conspiracy theorist. I know you're an Emmy award-winning type person, so you would probably never fall down to my level, but I see some weird stuff going on, Michelle, so I want to kind of pitch this to you. When you look at something like this, a shooter, and you hear about there was these mind control operations that the government started doing in the 1940s and 1950s. There was actually a declassified thing called MK Ultra, and as a matter of fact, when they try to go and look at a lot of the MK Ultra files, they happen to be burned. A lot of the tests and results of the mind control program happen to be burned. So I'm not saying that he was necessarily mind controlled, but at the same time, he shot himself on the 33rd floor, which is weird. Are you familiar with the significance of the number 33?
I'm not.
Michelle, so in the Bible, Satan casted out a third of the angels from heaven. And so the people that invert the Bible and worship the devil, the Illuminati, or whatever you want to call them, they actually worship this number because it represents who they are. They consider themselves the descendants of these angels that were casted out of heaven, the 33rd percent. So that's why you see this number. And it has a lot of, are you into numerology at all? Have you ever looked into numerology?
Not to the extent you have. So
No,
I'm
no.
curious what you're going
And you
to
probably
say.
don't. You probably don't smoke weed either. Weed helps you kind of understand all this stuff. I don't encourage people to smoke it. I'm just saying it kind of goes hand in hand. But with the 33rd, with that number, the significance is a lot of times the people that are in charge and that are the puppet masters and the social engineers that are in control, they like to have little Easter eggs and jokes that they can communicate with each other. So oftentimes in disasters, you see numbers that'll come up a lot. The number 33 comes up a lot. 9/11, 911, 116, which is the inversion of 9/11. You actually see 116 on a lot of stuff. But this is a longer podcast for a longer thing. So my point is, when it comes to this situation, the fact that the NFL is being targeted when in the league they have a diversity, equity, and inclusion department. Considering the league is only 24% white, I don't know how much more equity and inclusion they can get. So I think that there could be something bigger at play, and that the NFL might want to look like a victim in this scenario. So whether you believe that or not, how do you think the NFL looks in this whole entire situation? Just from your perspective, nothing to do with what I just said, but do you think the NFL has anything to do with this? Like, do you think that's kind of weird that it happens to be there? The season's about to start, you know, and then on top of that, there were some refs recently that got demoted for cheating, and professional sports are basically, you know, what is it, bread and circus? It's a way to distract us from what's really happening. So do you think that there could be something going on with the NFL involved in this?
Well, it's interesting you say that. Now my brain is swirling because private equity is now getting involved with the NFL, which is a pretty unique twist here that we're seeing in the future. It's a good question. It really is, because if you look at everything, like I keep going back, it seemed like the people he was shooting were random. But then he gets into an elevator and allows a girl to get out and doesn't attack her.
An African-American woman, which is good. We like that, but that, you know, you don't see the media talking about her skin color. He was an African-American. But real quick, and I was sorry to cut you off.
CNN did, though.
Yeah, well, one of the people was a BlackRock executive, and you brought up Luigi Mangione killing the executive and how that, I don't know, that radicalized a lot of people to actually be on Luigi Mangione's side. So, like, BlackRock is not the best company in the world. They're one of the biggest companies in the world, but they're basically, you know, artificially inflating the value of homes because they buy all the homes. They price individuals out of the market. So you could say that BlackRock is one of these evil companies. And I'm not calling everybody that works at BlackRock evil, but for a person at a health insurance company to die, people didn't feel sorry for that. And I don't think people will feel sorry for a BlackRock executive. And I know that might sound insensitive, but that's just how I think the court of public opinion will judge it. So what do you think, though? The BlackRock executive, is that just an accident, too? That's kind of weird.
It's really weird. I agree with you. And that's why I go back to, it seems like it's random, the people that he shot, especially if he was targeting the NFL. But again, most employees were leaving by the time he came in. And here's another question. There's typically security at the bottom of all of these buildings, especially a building like that.
They had the strictest security, so that doesn't even make sense.
Right.
I mean, Michelle, you know that the NFL, you can't. I think Dave Portnoy, my arch nemesis, I hope the guy will forgive me, but I'm saying I think he got arrested for going in those same offices. Is that correct, Jimmy?
That's correct.
So, I mean, he got arrested. He's an actual celebrity. This guy's got an AK-47 or AR-15, whatever the weapon was. I don't quote me on it. And he's just walking in there, you know, nobody approaching him. That's bizarre.
Right. Where was the
itself.
Security?
They need to be fired. They definitely need to be fired. And that executive, like I said, being shot like that, just all of this, there's just a lot of weird stuff that's going on, and it's very sad, all the people that died. I think, though, and this is maybe insensitive, I think because of the color of his skin, I think this will get memory hold. Do you think that, or do you think this will be something that New Yorkers will talk about for a long time?
It depends who you ask from New York. Let's also remember, Zoran right now wants to defund the police. I think this is a good point for conservatives to continue showing that we don't need leadership like Zoran in there. But in the same breath, I mean, look what happened to CNN. They were jumping with this story when they at first thought the shooter was white. We cannot forget that. And all of a sudden that died down. They haven't really acknowledged it since. I mean, it's a good question. This is still fresh. I think it's still an open investigation. There aren't really a ton of answers. It seems so random, even with the note left.
It does seem random. And then I don't know, and maybe somebody will think I'm random for this, but how do you think this connects with what's going on with the breaking news that Ghislaine Maxwell is willing to testify for immunity, but then they're not going to give her immunity? So I'm sick of all this Epstein stuff. Is that I want the truth. I'm sick of being misled, and that's my one criticism. I love Donald Trump, but I really think the way that he's handled this has been incredibly poor. I mean, I don't think he could have handled it any worse, as a matter of fact, when he gave us the binder that didn't have anything in it. Like, that's worse than not giving us anything at all. And then now Ghislaine is saying she wants to testify, but they won't give her immunity, when in reality, in her original court case, she was granted immunity from the original charges that she did in Florida by the AG, Pam Bondi. So all this stuff is just making my head spin. And do you think any of it's connected? And do you think Ghislaine deserves to have immunity if she testifies against all the people that were on the Lolita Express doing bad stuff to children?
To be honest with you, no, I don't think she should get immunity. I mean, she's just as guilty as Jeffrey Epstein. We saw what she did. We've heard the firsthand accounts from victims. But, you know, it's so interesting you bring this up, because I was actually at a Turning Point event when Trump started talking about the Epstein files and essentially said to forget about it. It's a hoax, right? So you have thousands of kids in high school and college that essentially didn't get to graduate in person because of COVID. They had an administration that was lying to them for the past 4 years, and they voted for transparency, a vote of fresh air. And, you know, it's so tough, because you saw AG Pam Bondi go on Fox News every night talking about the Epstein files. She said she had the binder on her desk. I mean, they literally released binders to influencers, I would say, saying phase 1. And that was it.
And the influencers,
where were the other faces?
Well, and influencers are the ones that got all the heat for it. And I feel bad. You know, I feel bad. My buddy Chad Prather is one of those guys. If they invited me and gave me a binder, I would take a smiling picture with it too. I would feel like I was a part of something, you know, monumental. This is historic. But in reality, it was a nightmare. It wasn't a dream. You know, it would be a dream to get invited to the White House, but for it to shake out like that, it became a nightmare for Chad and I think for Jack and some other people. So I'm just a little frustrated. Well, what do you think is going to happen though if you had to if you had a crystal ball? Will we ever get transparency, or do you think, because these people are connected to the CIA and other potential foreign governments, you know, high-powered people, classified information, are you of the opinion it'll be like JFK, we'll never actually get the truth?
That's really a good question. I mean, I hate to compare, but you look at what happened with Diddy. There were so many people involved with that, right? But I truly believe that Diddy was the scapegoat, the fault guy. I'm not saying that he was innocent. I think he was.
Well, Michelle, I have to cut you off.
person.
I think P. Diddy's done a bunch of gross stuff, but a lot of people went to those parties willingly. I always should preference that. You know what I mean? You go to those parties,
Exactly.
you
So
don't
we're
have
on the
to.
same page with
You don't
this.
have to start snorting cocaine and taking ecstasy and getting naked and do group sex just because you're at the P. Diddy party. Everybody's allowed to leave, but I get it is pressure, high pressure situation being invited. But I'm saying there's a little personal responsibility, I think, when it comes to hanging out with celebrities like that. But at the same time, there's no allegations of Puff Daddy with kids. Now, people have made those jokes, but there's been no charges. He's never been arrested. It is a lot heavier when it's Jeffrey Epstein with children. You know, it makes it a lot different than doing crazy stuff with consenting adults with children. So that's why it's like P. Diddy. There are a lot of parallels, but even the most evil thing P. Diddy did is probably not half as bad as what Jeffrey Epstein did.
Yeah, you're hearing the accounts from victims firsthand. I mean, they're able to talk about the horse that happened on that island. So, you know, I could see her going down as the fault guy here. I could see her giving a list. But I mean, the House committee already said that they're not going to grant her full immunity. So I'm not sure where that leaves her if she is going to decide to stay silent in all of this. It's not a good idea, in my opinion. I do think we're going to get something, but I think we're going to get breadcrumbed. I really do with this case. And we as voters, right, we as Republicans even, wouldn't be so upset if we weren't teased with this for the past however many months. Like if Pam Bondi would have stayed quiet, then okay, there's nothing else. But we were told that there's more, there's evidence. And it's a really frustrating thing, I think, for a lot of conservatives. As I said, I was at that Turning Point event, thousands of young college kids, and they were upset. They were genuinely upset over Trump's response.
Yes, and you know, I can see these young kids. I'm also starting to notice too, and Charlie had a big focus group, you know, with the conflict that's going on in Israel and Palestine. I can see that, you know, a lot of the young kids at these Turning Point events are starting to get disenfranchised with America's stance on that, and I'm empathetic to that. So it's crazy that we as conservatives were kind of winning the culture war, but I think that we're making some major mistakes right now where we're alienating our own base. And I hate to say that. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm just saying with the freaking Trump stuff on Epstein, this Israel-Palestine stuff, people are getting radicalized, and now you're finding topics where once with a leftist we might totally disagree, but oh, you're finding common ground. Oh, we both like, you know, it's like how Nick Fuentes is, controversial guy. Now he's like pro-Hamas. So now all these people like Hassan people are following Nick Fuentes. So I'm just saying, whether that's good, bad, Nick likes it. He has a big audience. But when you push people so far right, you kind of push the people you don't want to get together. So these young people are paying attention. What do you think is going to go on with the rest of Trump's presidency? Is he going to you think he's going to be able to rally from this and kind of, get the base back on his side? Or do you think there's going to be more division in the near future?
Look, if he can divulge something about this list, I think that would be a major win for Republicans and also restore some of the frustration with especially a lot of voters that I speak with. Nobody's perfect, and I admire everyone who can criticize a decision. We aren't clapping seals for the party, right? We're all individuals that think on our own. But we have the midterms coming up, and that's going to be a really concerning situation. Especially with some of these more narrow seats that we have to keep hold of.
I think it's going to be very bad, and I hope I'm wrong, but a lot of people are very upset because now you have everybody on the left. And listen, we should hold Joe Biden accountable. Joe Biden didn't release his stuff. When Kamala Harris was vice president, she didn't release his stuff. So they have some responsibility, but now you see all the leftists using this as ammunition to go after Trump. And I do think it is radicalizing people, and it's working because it's hard when they will not hold their own president accountable. They will not hold their own side accountable, but the conservatives actually will hold ourselves and our side accountable. So they can kind of see that fracture. They can see that weak spot, and I hope that the left is not able to take advantage of it. But really, at the end of the day, I mean, it's out of our control. The president of the United States is the one that needs to bring us together. So, Michelle, now tell me this. I am reading this story. I don't know if you saw this. I don't know if we have a full screen of this. Now, this is a huge story. A man in 1988, when he was 16 years old, he murdered both of his parents and both of his siblings. So David Braum, now 53, was handed 3 life sentences for the horrific death of his parents, Paulette and Bernard, both 41 at the time, young, and his siblings, Diane, 13, and Richard, 11, in Rochester, about an hour outside of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Braum was 16 at the time. He pled not guilty by reason of insanity, but on October 16, 1989, he was convicted on 4 counts of first-degree murder and sentenced to life behind bars. He was initially supposed to be tried as a juvenile, but he was instead convicted as an adult because of the severity of the crime. Makes sense, killed 4 people. And Braum was set to get out of prison in his 70s after serving 17 and a half years per sentence for his crimes. But a 2023 state law changed everything. Senate File 2909 rules that individuals who were sentenced to life for crimes they committed as minors are now eligible for parole after serving a minimum of 15 years. Braum, who served more than 35 years, will now live in an unnamed Twin Cities halfway house while on work release with a monitored GPS device. Now, that does seem kind of safe, but at the same time, I know that this guy paid his debt to society for 35 years, but he murdered his mom and dad and brother and sister. I think that is unforgivable. Now, you could murder somebody that cheated on your wife, somebody did something to your family member. To kill your own family members and mother and father, that's a special kind of sickness. That's a special kind of evil. And I don't know if I like that this guy is on a halfway house. So with that information you just got, what is your opinion on this story, Michelle?
I just have one follow-up question. Was there a motive
No.
to this? Do you know?
No, he's the kid.
They never found that out?
No, he said at the time of the heinous crime, Braum was a sophomore at Lourdes High School where he expressed to his peers that he had troubles at home, though the specifics remain unclear. His older brother Joseph was not living at the family's home at the time of the murders. Joseph died in 2016 from cancer, so he's dead, so he can't be like, hey, I don't want my brother out. But at the time of the heinous crimes, Braum was a sophomore at Lourdes High School where he expressed to his peers he had some troubles at home, but they never really said what they were. And no allegations of sexual molestation, nothing, no crazy like he was being abused necessarily. And his brother never said that his family was abusing him. So I mean, to kill your brother and sister and your mom and dad, I mean, there's nothing they could do to them to justify killing them, right? So, I mean, he would have to be crazy to do that. So I don't know if he can be rehabilitated. Can somebody be rehabilitated for killing 4 people when they were 16 years old, in your opinion, Michelle?
That's such a tough question because there are people who believe that, but you killed all of your family. I mean, did someone do a psychological analysis on him? Like, is this guy safe to be at a halfway house with other people?
They said he just got approved for gay adoption. Him and his husband are adopting 2 babies this fall.
Get him back in there.
Yeah. No, that's a joke. He's
He
not
needs to get back
adopting
to
anybody.
jail.
But did you see there was another pervert that just got a baby? We didn't add that up. I couldn't believe that. I actually haven't pulled up my laptop. But what's the deal with that? Why is a person on the registered sex offender list able to use a surrogate to have a baby? Should that be illegal?
Yeah, 100%. But they can hide behind the guise of if you criticize it, you're homophobic. I mean, we've probably both been called that before, right?
Yeah. Well, it's impossible for me to be homophobic. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, so I have a lot of gay pride. As a Cowboys fan, I could never
There
be
it
considered
is.
homophobic. I love the Cowboys, but man, we freaking stink. What do you think? I think the NFL this year, something weird is going to happen because we're talking about the shooting. I've been reading online. There's a lot of weird stuff that they're kind of speculating with, like the NFL, but I think one of these players in the Cleveland Guardians now, 2 players are under investigation for cheating right now. Like I think there's going to be a big cheating scandal in the near future in the NFL, I predict. Do you believe pro sports are rigged anyway, Michelle, or do you think that they're all legit?
Well, I used to not, but if listen, I dabble in the conspiracy theory world. I left journalism a little bit ago and ended up in the conspiracy world. But you look at what happened in the Super Bowl last year. I mean, Travis Kelce, a massive voice, right, in Pfizer.
$30 million.
Dating Taylor Swift.
He got like $26 million for one vaccine. Oh, but this is
Right.
what's really crazy with the Taylor Swift one. So that's Super Bowl 49. Taylor Swift's favorite number is 13. So Super Bowl 49, that's the year that they blew
Are you a
up.
Swiftie that you knew that?
No, I'm a conspiracy theorist. But I mean, I guess I'm a gentle Swiftie, but I'll tell you that this is all the connections. So Taylor, 13, I think that's when she had her first gold album when she was 13. So this number has so much significance to her. But Travis Kelce is number 87. 100 minus 87 is 13. This is Super Bowl 49. If you add 4 plus 9, that equals 13. Now, if you look at it, who did the Kansas City Chiefs play? They played the San Francisco 49ers. What does 4 plus 9 equal? Oh, 13. And then they won. They beat the 13 team. And on top of that, there's a bunch of other connections. I got to look at my ChatGPT to remind me. But I think they rigged it for Taylor Swift, and then I think they had to give him, they had to make him lose in horrible fashion this past year to just kind of even it out. So all the other players that know it's rigged don't quit.
You are a numerical guy. This is very intriguing.
Numerology,
The rabbit
yes.
hole you just took me
You
down.
didn't know any of that.
So-
You didn't know, but you know that. Are you a Swiftie? Did you know that she likes the number 13?
I am a Swiftie. I get canceled when I say that, especially this past year with the election. But listen, you can like somebody's music and not their political views.
I
I've
agree.
tried to explain that to people.
They
I
can't
still get
understand it. That
canceled.
you can like the art, but you don't have to love the artist's political viewpoints. You know what I mean? And that's
Yeah.
I think that's how we should look at everybody, even like your neighbor or whoever. You're like, oh, because they voted for this person, I hate them. It really, at the end of the day, how we treat each other is how you should judge somebody. But we live in a very divisive place. We're in a culture war, so people, of course, are going to have preconceived notions. But when it comes to Taylor Swift, though, you do know the significance of 13, right? You know that is her favorite number.
I didn't. So you might be
Oh.
more of a Swiftie than I am.
Wow, I'm teaching you a little bit about Taylor Swift.
You are. This is quite humbling.
It is. Well, when you get on the Pimp on a Blimps podcast, you're going to get a lot of new information. Now, I ask our guests 3 hard questions every interview. Now, the first hard question, the terror attacks on September 11th, 2001, do you believe that they were perpetrated by people in the United States government?
Oh, you're really getting into this. I've seen a million conspiracy theory videos.
Have
on
you seen
this,
Tower 7
and
videos? Have you seen Tower 7?
I have.
It
Yeah.
did fall down in very
with-
peculiar fashion, did it not, for a 47-story building to fall in its own footprint, considering it would be the tallest building in over 47 other states? And it just fell like into its own footprint, and it didn't even get hit by a plane, which is, weird.
Quite interesting how that happened, isn't it? Also, particular people not going to work that day.
Larry Silverstein.
very interesting
Larry
stuff.
Silverstein cashing out the biggest insurance policy for a commercial building ever. And he got not just one, but he got 2 insurance settlements because it was 2 terror attacks, not one. Great businessman. God bless him. Still alive. Still alive. He's like almost 100 or something. I don't know. Has nothing to do with drinking the blood of babies. I know the chat's like, oh, he drinks baby blood. He does not drink baby blood. That's not true. But some people do. I bet Jeffrey Epstein did, and Jimmy Savile, we know, did. So do you think there's a pedophile elite that are controlling the world?
100%. There's an elite class that's
Ding, ding,
controlling
ding.
the
If we
world.
have a ding, I hit a ding. And most of them are probably pedophiles. Okay, now this is now other one. The moon landing, 1969 through 1972, the Apollo moon missions supposedly put a man on the moon. Me, personally, I think that looked like a bunch of fake garbage. Do you think man has ever walked on the moon?
You're going to get me in trouble with these questions, but
That's the point of them, yes.
no, no, I don't.
Oh, Michelle! See, you have eyes to see. I love that. I really respect
do.
that. Because let's just be real, we can't go to the moon today. I doubt we did it back then. But, you know, you guys can prove me wrong. This new Artemis mission, and I went and I toured the Johnson Space Center. They've repurposed the new Artemis mission is the mission where they're going to put man on the moon again. I'm telling you. They have the Apollo mission crap. They have the Artemis stuff. It looks exactly the same, but with like carbon fiber on it. I mean, I know it's hard to explain. I'm not even saying that funny. It literally, the capsule looks the same, and you can go tour it. Like, we're working on Artemis, and it looks like going and touring NASA. I felt like I was at Disneyland. I did not feel like I was at a real place where real science is getting done. Now, I'm not a scientist. Maybe I can't tell when real science is going on, but it just looked more like a damn theme park than it did a bunch of guys going to the moon. And then in 1969, most of the buildings at the Johnson Space Center are from the original. You know, they've added buildings, but there's a lot that they're still using from the original space missions. You're kind of like, how are they still using this shitty old building? I mean, I mean that for real. Like, I don't mean that disrespectful. Like, the buildings look worse than a community college. So I'm like, this is how we get to space. I think the moon landing is totally fake. Okay, now, I'm happy we agree on this. Now, this one, I don't believe, but a lot of people believe this. Do you believe the Earth is flat or round?
I don't. I don't believe that one.
Okay, so it's not flat; it is round. Good. Yeah, we proved that.
I'm not a flat earther.
Well, good.
Nope.
We've seen, but we hit a lot of, you know, there's a lot of crossover with the moon landing deniers, so we asked that, and it actually is a thing now. Chicks are kind of getting into the, you know, flat Earth, moon landing stuff. You see, it used to always be like.
But what's the appeal of chicks getting into it specifically? Is there some angle
They're just
to
making
this?
it more sexy, just more, you know what I mean? It's just, you know, flat Earth.
Okay.
Because it used to be like, oh, a guy's a flat earther, a guy couldn't get laid to save his life. But now there's some flat Earth
Right.
chicks out there. So believe it or not, now there's a bunch of flat earthers having flat Earth babies. So I think the Earth's only going to get more flat. But it's crazy. You know, I wouldn't put it past anybody in this day and age with so much disinformation. It's hard to really trust the science. Now, okay, now I want to ask you, well, real quick before you go, we only have you for a few more minutes. Where can people find you and support you, Michelle?
Yeah, so you can find me on social media, Michelle, MICHELLE, Backus _ on Instagram, TikTok. If I don't get banned from TikTok, I always end up getting banned from TikTok. So I don't know how much longer the ban's in place as well, because I know we're going to be moving to a new platform. But Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and then I host a show on Real America's Voice.
Yes, everybody needs to go watch that. And then now, before you go, and I wanted to bring this up with you because you have Sydney Sweeney vibes. She's getting canceled for being a Nazi in American Eagle, and American Eagle stock is going through the roof. So good for them. I didn't even know Abercrombie and American Eagle did that well. I know I loved them when I was a little kid. I don't know if people wear it that much now. So let's play SOT number 2, and then I want to get your reaction of this because they're saying that there was a genetics eugenics joke. And I'm like, great genes, like that's a play on words. I don't know if that's necessarily a Nazi dog whistle, but let's play SOT number 2.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has very genes.
Why is that racist? Well, how is that Nazi propaganda?
Because she's a pretty white blonde girl. That's quite literally it. You're forgetting back in 2020, American Eagle did ads with overweight women. And I'm sorry, I'm going to get canceled for that. You know what? I get canceled all the time. Yeah. But as a girl, I don't want to see an overweight woman as a model.
I know. Who wants to see a big fat woman? And that's no disrespectful to big women. I'm just saying, model the big women stuff. I mean, there used to be a standard with beauty. You had to be hot to be a model. I don't know why that's...
Right?
And once again, I'm not saying that it's disrespectful to other people. I'm very hot, so I don't really know. I don't empathize with them at all, being a fat slob ugly, but I would never know what that's like. But me being beautiful, I get it. Like, I want my people to be promoted. I shouldn't be penalized for being beautiful. And so it's ridiculous that Sydney Sweeney getting, penalized for that. And if it was a 400-pound Lizzo and she's lost weight, good for her. Now she's like $180 or $280. Well, I don't know. Like, if it was Lizzo and we called that, racist, we would get canceled. So it's just weird. How do we? Yeah. How do we fix this? Like, can we have hot models and ugly models, or like, does American Eagle? Does this hurt their brand? Like, when you as a consumer. You just said you want hot people, but how do we fix this? How do the marketers market to the people?
I think you ignore it's such a loud minority of people. I mean, think about the Victoria's Secret fashion show back in the day. When I was in middle school, my girlfriends used to all come over and we would watch this fashion show and the models looked amazing. And that's the whole shtick of being a supermodel, right? It's an unattainable figure that, quite frankly, little girls love to look up to. I mean, it's cool. When they started with all the body positivity stuff, that's when we all stopped watching. I posted TikTok today talking about the Sydney Sweeney controversy and people immediately coming for me saying that I don't understand, it's Nazi propaganda. That is such a reach. That is such a reach, because if you replaced Sydney Sweeney in that ad with a different woman of a different race and different hair color and X, Y, and Z and said the same thing, nobody would think twice about it. But
it's because of Sydney Sweeney.
We're back to the era of white blonde girls being villainized. I'll speak on behalf of them. I don't care.
Well, we need somebody to stand up for the white blondes out there because they get a lot of heat. But I'll tell you this much though: I look at this and I think the tide is turning. I think American Eagle is going to see this and their stock is going up, and the backlash is basically stupid. And all publicity is good publicity. So I think there's going to be more people that I think there's going to be more of this type of model. Hot white people. And listen, it can be a big booty Latina too. I'm not gonna discriminate. And it can be a hot black girl too. It's just like, give us an actual hot person and not a woman that has type 2 diabetes. Like, that's all I'm asking for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just someone that's healthy. Someone that's healthy.
And they don't have to be stick thin either. Just a healthy, pretty person.
Right.
Like I said, they don't have to
Who
be.
Who cares the color? Just healthy.
Yeah,
healthy people.
They don't have to be anorexic, but they also don't have to be, obese. So I feel like we can meet in the middle. All right, well, Michelle, thank you. Everybody needs to go follow Michelle on Twitter. It's Michelle Backus, and she hosts a great show on Rav. We love Rav. Last thing, Charlie Kirk. I'm going to talk about it after you, but I just get your opinion. Charlie does great work. South Park's going to go after him. I'd say he's laughing about it. I think this is a good thing. What do you think is going to come of this Charlie Kirk attack by Trey and Matt Parker or whatever?
Charlie's going to laugh about it. He already quote tweeted the preview and said he can't wait to watch it. Honestly, I can't wait to watch it. Let's see them do their worst.
I know, I'm excited because the one clip is actually funny. He's like, "You're an idiot abortionist" or something. We're about to watch it, but wanted to get your opinion. Charlie's always on Rav doing good stuff, so we love them.
Oh yeah.
All right, well, Michelle, have a good evening. Thank you, and I really, really respect your honesty. We got Lauren Boebert agrees with you, the congresswoman from Colorado, and she wants to go on a mission with myself to the NASA Johnson Space Center to do our own investigative work. So you're not the only attractive woman that knows the moon landing is fake. My girlfriend as well, other girls, so I'm saying.
Hey, just for Lauren's sake,
we could do a field trip.
She didn't explicitly say
trip.
it was fake. She said she has questions. Just
okay, you're clarifying for her, but behind closed doors, Lauren's like, it's fake as crap to me. I mean, that's off the record she said that, so don't quote me on that. Just, you know what, Newsweek...
So don't post that publicly anywhere.
Yeah, don't post this anywhere, even though Newsweek seems to clip out every time that Lauren comes on our show and says something controversial like that. All right, Michelle, thank you so much. I hope Newsweek's watching this, so maybe they can say, oh my gosh, Real America Voice doesn't think we landed on the moon, but... I believe in God, and I believe that they're lying about that. So, Michelle, thank you. Have a good evening. Everybody go follow her right now. That is a direct order.
Thanks. Have a good one.
All right, guys. We got to get a little ad read. Where's the Blaze TV? Guys, they thought we were just going to sit down and shut up. They thought we'd let them rewrite reality, cancel common sense, and run this country into the freaking ground while we scroll TikTok and sip soy lattes. But guess what, Buttercup? They forgot one thing. I'm Primetime 99 Alex Stein, and I don't play by their bitch-ass rules. On Blaze TV, we're not just reacting to the madness, we're exposing it, we're naming names, trolling the tyrants, and laughing in the face of their propaganda. This isn't your grandpa's cable news. This is the front line of the culture war. Unfiltered, uncensored, completely unhinged in the best possible way. Every weeknight, I bring the chaos directly to your screen. Politicians, media puppets, woke warriors, nobody is safe. If they're destroying the country, we're putting them on blast. And the best part, you can join the Primetime 99 posse for just 99 cents for your first 30 days. That's right, only 99 cents to get in on the realest, rawest, most ridiculous political show on the internet. Go to blazetv.com/Alex, sign up, and show the elites they can't cancel what they can't control. This is how we win, not by playing nice, not by staying quiet, but by speaking the truth, bringing receipts, and clowning the clowns one segment at a time. Go to blazetv.com/Alex. Join for 99 cents. All right. Well, that was entertaining. I did not expect Michelle to be a moon landing denier, but I like that. I respect that. Oh, yeah. Let me hit the NDI scan computer. So I wanted to pull up some stuff. And I could have brought this up with Michelle, but if you guys know fitness influencer legend the one, the only Joey Swoll. I don't know if you can pull up my laptop. You guys see, this is Joey Swoll. We're about to play a clip. I am so freaking pissed off right now. This guy has become an inspiration when it calls out to bad gym culture. He is famous for calling out other gym influencers for filming at the wrong time. Or my favorite videos are where the gym influencers are filming themselves and somebody just accidentally walks in front of their camera and the person that's on the weight bench is like, I got a camera there! And then Joey Swoll will come on camera and be like, don't act like this meathead weightlifter. People are allowed to walk around the gym. It's just common sense, but for some reason it's entertaining. He posted on the day that the greatest professional wrestler to ever live, Hulk Hogan, whether you like him or not, he posted that he was a huge inspiration, and that was one of the reasons that he even got into fitness was because of Hulk Hogan. And then Joey Swoll went on his live stream and got totally crushed, so much so he's going to quit. He says he's going to quit media, or excuse me, quit online, whatever the hell his job is called. I don't even know what it's called. Here, let's watch this.
And all of social media an apology.
Hold on.
A few days ago.
Look at this. I just want to say, before I play this, Joey Swoll, he's only like 5'2". I don't know if you guys might not know that. I know he looks really strong, but he's like actually a midget. No disrespect. Oh, crap. NDI went out. Why does it do that right when I'm about to play it and the NDI goes out? Hopefully, does it pop back up now? Is it up? Why does it do that, guys? It's our freaking thing. Let's see. I click scan converter. Is it back? Okay. This is what's frustrating about Joey Swoll. Is he's supposed to be a leader. He's supposed to be he's all about calling out hypocrisy. When these people are inside the gym and they're filming, but they're getting mad for other people interacting their, video, when in reality, they're the ones that are, basically annoying other people in the gym. Now he gets a little bit of critique for posting a tribute to a dead person because the dead person in a private conversation with his son said the N-word. Now, listen, saying the N-word like that, it's not a good thing. I'm not saying Hulk Hogan's proudest moment by any means, but this is America, and in America, this country was built on second chances. People can make mistakes, and we should give them the benefit of the doubt. And there's all kinds of words that we can say that don't make you a racist. I believe that Hulk Hogan said those words. I've heard him say that, but I don't believe that he hated black people. I don't believe that he was actually an evil person. I think that when he gets lambasted by the public, they're just looking for a reason to hate him because he considers himself conservative. So they see him as an enemy, and so they use the lowest point of his life, not, having sex with my very good friend Bubba the Love Sponge's wife at the time, which was, controversial to say the least. But that was all consenting adults. Shout out Bubba Army. We love you, Bubba. Now, Joey Swoll has not only deleted the images, he's come out with this bitch-ass apology, and it just makes me sick. We live in a country where you shouldn't have to apologize for liking a dead person. I mean, give me a break. Like Hulk Hogan changed a whole professional sport, whether you think wrestling is a sport or not. It's sports entertainment, and he was the biggest King Kong of it for a long time. So let's watch this.
Oh, my followers, my community, and all of social media an apology. A few days ago, I reposted an old video of me in the gym wearing a Hulk Hogan Halloween costume on the day that he passed. Last night in my live stream, a lot of people expressed how upset and frustrated they were with me that I had posted that. Instead of...
Okay, pause. They're mad at you for posting a picture of you in a costume, okay? Just think about that. I mean, just think how ridiculous that is. It's just you in a costume. They're mad about that. These are your fans. They supposedly like you, but you're cosplaying as a character, and probably your fans are probably cosplaying as, pedophiles and furries, have most of them, no offense. But I'm not calling them all that, but I'm sure your fans are a real piece of work if they're mad at you for celebrating a dead person that you worshipped as a child. But let's keep playing. It's getting worse. Like, he does not need to apologize. He's got millions of followers, dude.
Listening and understanding like I should have, I became defensive and said that I was posting to celebrate the wrestling icon, the person that so many of us looked up to as kids that we grew up with.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know why it keeps doing that, guys. We have our thing. I don't know why this converter, it keeps, did it pop back up? I don't know what, the NDI converter program's up, but, well, basically, Joey Swoll is being a baby back bitch apologizing. I mean, it's ridiculous. You would think that he would have some cojones and say, I got millions of followers. I was a fan of this guy when I was a kid. That doesn't mean I co-signed the time that he said the N-word. And once again, saying the N-word's not the greatest thing in the world, but it is a word. Like, you're giving the word all the power when you play a victim like that. That's what we need to stop doing. We need to stop constantly, you know, calling ourselves a victim. It's just absolutely ridiculous. So Joey Swoll now is going into retirement because of this. So Joey, if this is the case, if this like is true and you're not bluffing, you're not doing this for attention, I hope you stay gone because you can't handle the heat. I mean, you're a little baby back bitch. You might be able to bench press 5,000 pounds, but if you can't take a little criticism, and you can't have a little integrity and say, hey, listen, I liked him as a kid. I still like him. I'm not going to delete a photo because you don't like him. This is the person that I like. I'm my own man. I'm an adult, and I can make my own decisions. But until you take that stance and you're going to continue to let these people online decide what you can and can't post, that means you're a coward. That means you have no integrity. That means all the times you call out people in your videos, you're full of crap because as soon as you get called out, you become a baby back bitch. So Joey Swoll, you're 5 foot tall. You're never going to grow taller, and now you're mad, and now you're going to quit because a couple people criticize you for liking Hulk Hogan. You deserve it. You deserve to be canceled now, honestly. Like, if you don't have balls, don't go on the internet. That's the one thing about the internet. It is a tough place. Trust me, I know. I get lambasted every time. People, my dead mom, this, that, and the other thing. I get crushed online. I get a lot of positivity, too. But you don't see me quitting. Why? Because I'm not a baby back bitch. Because when I see a challenge, I'm going to go and I'm going to go compete. If you're going to challenge my viewpoint, I'm going to say this is what I think, and I'm going to do it unapologetically. Unlike you, that is apologizing like a baby back bitch. So, Joey Swoll, you've really, really lost a big supporter of yours. And I've been doing a lot of fitness stuff lately. I've been, you know, talking to the fitness, looking at the fitness stuff. I thought you were a guy that could be an inspiration, when in reality, everybody needs to not be a coward like Joey Swoll and does not need to give in to cancel culture. So, Joey Swoll, you know, you're the libtard of the week, basically. We don't have a bump or anything, but we should. Now, my colleague and friend, well, I guess my boss, no, not my boss, because Charlie Kirk. Turning Point lets me speak at so many great events. I appreciate that. I always like Turning Point, so gracious for them. But Charlie is being made fun of in the most recent South Park episode that's going to come out. But really, this is my problem with this. Who was the first person to spoof Charlie Kirk? Charlie Kirk, right? So now I'm out here working my ass off. I'm traveling to North Dakota State. I'm traveling to, all over. I'm going to West Georgia University. Nobody even knows. I've been there. I don't even remember where West Georgia University is. No disrespect to West Georgia. I'm out there grinding. I'm at Clemson. I invented Charlie Kirk. I was the first person to impersonate Charlie at a grand scale, and now South Park's going to come in and steal my own bit right from out underneath my feet? I feel like I want to file a lawsuit for copyright infringement. I don't know if I'm able to. Do you think legally I could do that, Jimmy? Because they're
Absolutely.
So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to get my attorney, John Gross, who's actually not my attorney because he works in the State Department right now, and my other attorney who's covering me is named Eden. But I will contact John Gross to give me friendly advice, not legal advice, on what steps potentially I could take in order to go and potentially file a lawsuit. Because identity theft is not a joke. It is a crime, and if it's Trey Parker and Matt Stone, correct? I always get it wrong.
Yes.
You two guys, I would think, brilliant geniuses, animators, created a billion-dollar industry. Their latest contract is $1.3 billion for 5 years, I believe. If you don't pay me some money, I'm going to do something. I don't know what, but I'm going to do something, and it's not going to be good. So, that's to the South Park writers and creative executives. They need to reach out to me. You cannot steal my IP, my intellectual property is what I call that. IP, for the people that don't know what that is, intellectual property. I know it. I got a lot of intellectual property. So they're trying to steal it from me. I'm not okay with that, and you're going to drive me to start drinking this delicious Flying Aces whiskey, and I don't want to do that because I don't want you guys stealing my bit. I only have about 8 different bits I can juggle around. You know what I mean? I'm trying to freaking create new bits. One of my best bits, the Charlie Kirk bit, you're just going to steal that, right from underneath me. I'm not. It's not okay. And it's okay with Charlie. It's okay with Turning Point. They barely let me do it, okay? So, no, we're not. I do the Charlie Kirk impersonation. You do the cartoons, okay? So I have a real big bone to pick. Now, did the NDI come back up? Let me see if I can hit it one more time. Let's see. That might work. Maybe it's just when we're doing a video. Okay, you guys saw this. Well, no, you can get on it real quick. I don't know if I can make this bigger, but did you guys see Ozzy Osbourne is actually alive? This is what it says. Hey, it's Ozzy Osbourne. I'm messaging you from a private account. I'm not really dead. Can you cash at me $600 so I can come back to the United States and put out more music? Sharon! So that's good news. So obviously Ozzy's still alive. He's messaging people. So that's I saw that today. I've reshared it. I'm so happy. So that's good. Ozzy's going to be back making music. Now this video really this
7 o'clock this evening. And I also want to point out
this is and Jimmy, because Jimmy is Princeton educated, like he doesn't believe a lot of these conspiracies and stuff like that. And so I'm just right now. Oh shit! Let me try to fix it. Damn, it's India. Let's see if we can. Sorry, the computer. I don't know why, guys. We're having an issue when I try to show something on my computer on the screen. It just like it'll work for a second, then it you know craps out. I don't know. Maybe there's ghosts in the building still from Dunye. No, I don't even know if it's Jimmy's fault. I think it's a Dunye ghost that might be getting us. Did it come back? Okay, yeah, let's watch this video. Now, Jimmy, I'm doing this specifically for you, Princeton boy. The reason why I say this is there's a thing called predictive programming, and this is why they just say it casually, like in an interview like this. It's so when you actually find out that it's happening around you, you're like, oh, I've already heard that. That's already in my subconscious, so that kind of sounds normal and right. And we just had massive floods in Kerrville, Texas, and Texas. So I just want you to watch this video and listen to what this weatherman says.
stop. It's picked up speed, folks. This will move to the metro between 6 and 7 o'clock this evening. And I also want to point out this big area of blue. That's what we call military chaff. And the military releases some things in the atmosphere. I know. Down near Fort Sill, that's been riding north and east. And the radar is picking that up right there. And then look at the cold front there.
How are you just going to go, oh, the military's putting gases in the cloud. Oh, look at the cold front over there. What the hell is going on? I don't want to live in a town where the military, or Augustus Dorico, or that matter, is spraying stuff in the sky. And listen, I actually did some research because, you know, I'm not the most smartest guy ever. We know that. I've never claimed to be. But I did do some research, and I looked into this Augustus Dorico, and I looked into this Rainmaker, and I looked into droughts. And you know what? Did you know that there's a thing called groundwater, and that basically everywhere in the United States, if you dig deep enough, you can put a well, literally anywhere. There's groundwater underneath. It's just different levels of different height. And that, believe it or not, before airplanes, people were able to grow food. And you know how they did it? It's called irrigation. So there's other ways to get water through irrigation and to water crops without spraying sodium iodide or military chaff in the sky. So we should be a little more worried about this. I know you guys are like, oh, chemtrails are stupid. It's not just chemtrails. Chemtrails are talking about it. Oh, look, there's a cold front moving in tomorrow. This is not good. So the same people that are spraying this stuff in the skies are the same people that are covering up for Jeffrey Epstein, and are the same people that do not want you to know the truth about a countless amount of other things. So remember that as a chat rat, it is your duty to be diligent in our fight against the government, the military-industrial complex, the pharmaceutical industrial complex. We have to be civilly disobedient and not comply with these freaks and not let them spray our skies with all kinds of chemicals that I don't think are beneficial to my health or yours. So we need to start calling that out and doing whatever we can to stop that. Now, there's a couple other things. I think that's it. But yeah, I got some fentanyl stuff, some other stuff. We can wait till tomorrow. Some really, really good stuff. We didn't really have enough time to get into it. But guys, that's been our show. I just want to say thank you to Michelle Backus. She did a great job. She came on the show. She was great. Now tomorrow, Jimmy, who's on the show tomorrow?
So tomorrow our Zoom guest is Adrian Gray, who has the new Real America's Voice show. And then our in-studio guest is Donna Lee. Who
Donna Lee, comedian.
Kill Tony.
She was. You keep saying viral on Kill Tony. Her clip did not do that well. But listen, we still want her on. I don't know if it even broke 1 million views, Jimmy. I don't think. Do you think?
Well, I have lower standards for myself for viral.
That is true. But you've had some videos break millions of views. So
that is true.
So don't be so naive. But I want to shout out this. I got to end the show. Bring it back to Southwest Airlines. Southwest, I'm sure you're watching this. I know I have a lot of fans at Southwest. Believe it or not, there are flight attendants that have come up to me, taken pictures with me, said they're fans of mine on Southwest. I hope that I don't get banned. I don't want to get banned from your airline. I was respectful to all the employees. If anybody was disrespectful, it was the employees to me by calling the cops on me. I have been talking to them in the DMs. We've not come up with a resolution, but I'm still holding out hope that we can come to a resolution so that I can make a post thanking Southwest for making it right. But until we come to a resolution, right now it looks like Southwest Airlines does not care about leaving you stranded in a place. When they say it's weather, but the weather's not bad and other planes are taking off and they don't care that there's families that are struggling on family vacation, that are going to miss their connection, yada, yada, yada. They kind of look at you like tough luck. And I guess that's this modern era, that's where we are. These companies that make millions and millions of dollars just cutting every single corner they can just to increase the money in their bank accounts while simultaneously decreasing the money in ours. So got to stand up. That's why I made that video. I know it looked a little cringe, but sometimes, you got to do it. It went super viral. Daily Mail's calling me a TV star. I hope Southwest and I can come to an agreement and make our relationship
Hey,
prosperous.
on that note, we
Yes?
got a super chat about Southwest saying, I freaking love you, man. You never cower. You always stand up for what's right. I love it. From Tony Hay Munkets.
Oh, we love Tony Hay Munkets. Tony Hay Munkets is one of our best super chatters. Shout out Tony Hay Munkets. All right, guys, that's been our show. We end the show the same way every time with that freestyle finale. So DJ, hit that beat. Yo, ball on my head, ball on my head. That guy was shot dead on the 33rd floor. I'd like to know more, but they are gonna close that door. Too bad he wasn't white. Maybe they would talk about it every night, but he was black. Throw it in the back. You're never gonna hear about that. NFL is super gay. I hope it dies all day. No, actually, I don't want it to die. Like, I want it to change color. I want it to live forever, but I hope that they change the colors. That's what I meant by dying. I would never want to call for anybody to perish. I love you. I love Hulk Hogan. Joey Swoll, you're a baby back biatch. You should be freaking ashamed of yourself. Hit that like button, too. That like button, hit it right now. I love you guys. Peace.